Today we're going to be trying a gas puzzle. It's a Thursday. This is Warm Up by Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards. They've got a huge inventory of wonderful puzzles. Big fan of their work. Just doing a gas puzzle today. It's got standard Sudoku rules and also thermometers. Along thermometers, you have a bulb, which is the lowest digit, and digits must strictly increase, meaning no repeats as you progress to the end. Let's get going. Okay. The first thing I want to know is how long are these longest thermometers? It looks like the answer is 6 digits, and there's 4 of them. Okay. With that being said, I should be able to put in some pencil marks, but they're going to be a little bit unpleasant, so we can't have a 4 here, but I'll come back to unavailable options shortly. Right, well, I'll start now. So this can't be a 9 anywhere in the thermos, which is clear because of a 9 above it, so starting digit is actually capped, working backwards. And since this can't be a 4, this starting digit can't be a 3. But that doesn't limit the progressive digits afterwards. So we've got a 1, 2 and a 2, 3 at the start. Let's have a look at this thermometer instead, and I don't think this will be limited. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel that once thermometers start getting to lengths of 7 or more, you get great restrictions naturally. At this length, they're a little bit more difficult to work with. But this will be interesting. We can't have 4 here anywhere. So we do have some restrictions. This can now be 4. Again, this last digit though can't be 9, which is lovely. So that top digit can be taken off of all of them. Yeah. Okay, so in a similar way we've got another 1, 2 there and another 2, 3. The next place is actually a little more restricted, so that's good. And we're going to have to look at the last thermos. So 1, 2, 3 or 4. Interestingly, we can't have 3 anywhere on this line. What does that mean for us? We'll find out. Oh, and not a 5 here either. So just to see, this can't be 6 because this would be 7, 8, 9, and we need a 2-digit number, which is illegal. So 2 or 4, meaning this can't be 4. And now we've got 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, and 7, 8, 9. Okay. We've got 2, 6, 7, 8 here and 1 here. This is starting to get interesting. Oh, and this is interesting because we have a quadruple here of 5, 6, 7, 8. So the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8 inclusive must be contained in those 4 digits, meaning we know what lies on the thermometer. It's everything except for 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 and 9, which is 1, 2, 4. And because it's a thermometer, we also know its order. That eliminates 4 from this thermometer, and we can forward track because this can't be 5 anymore and this can't be 6. But where do we go from here? So we've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 to place on the 2 thermometers. Clearly 9 is limited to one of these 2 squares. And three must be limited to one of the bulbs, but 5 isn't necessarily, because we could have 3, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9 as our 2 thermometers. Eight can't be in column 7, row 7 and row 1 of column 5. That's kind of restricted, but it's not great. I mean, there are some restrictions. This bottom digit can't be a 7, which means it's 6, 8 or 9. Sure, we'll put that in. And similarly, this top one can't be a 9 or a 5, so it's 3, 6 or we can't have 8 either. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could be a 3 and it could be a 6 and it could be a 7. So I think what we need. But that's not unlocking anything nice for us just yet. Yeah, and I won't complete the rest of those furnaces because they don't get any nicer. How about this? This is interesting. Could that be 1? No, because... Oh, it could. I was imagining if it was straight on column 1, then the end point would have to see the 4 and the 5. But it doesn't, so it could very well be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still legal for now. You know, this is somewhat restricted, but very loosely. And we need to find a breakthrough here. What's it going to be? Oh, we have a triple now here. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple. Which means that this puzzle is this square is a 5. And that does help us, because it tells us that this is 1, 2, 3, 4 before it. And that should be really quite helpful. Now we can't have a 3 here, so this point has to be the 3. And that limits our options to a 1 to start. We still don't know whether it's followed by 2 or 4. So we can eliminate 3 from here. We don't have anything else on that thermometer. Okay, well similarly this is a 6, 7, 8 triple. I don't know if that it's always been a 6, 7, 8 triple, has it? If so, that's poor form on my part, because that immediately forces us to be a 5, and we get the same 4, 3, 2 and 1 down here. Right. Yeah, it has always been a triple, I think. And also we have that this can't be an 8. If it was, you'd force this to be a 9. That should have been pretty clear, I think, earlier on. So I've missed that. Apologies for that. Which means this can still be 2 and 4, but everything else is limited to 2 digits. What else have I missed? Wow. Right, well, that's a big help. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to put on this, on these thermometers. So that can be 5, 6, or 7. And this could be 5, 6, 7, or 8. It doesn't feel like we're going to get particularly limiting results. Why is one more constricted than the other? Because we have 4 digits to choose from, and we have a thermometer in effect of length 2 and length 3. So this is the better one to look at. Oh yeah, okay, so this can't be a 6. Oh no, rather this can't be a 6, because we'd have nothing to precede it. If this was a 5, that would force this to be a 3, which it can't be. It now has a 3 in the box even. So this can't be a 6, which means we're left with 8, 9 on the bottom square. By Sudoku, this is 3. That eliminates this 3 as an option. Right. What are we missing on row 5? That might be helpful. Because we've got this 6, 7, 8 triple, we know that we're missing 1, 3, 9, and 4. Okay, well, 4 is over on this side. 1, 3, 9, and 4. 9 can never be on the bulb of a thermometer, so 9 could go here and it could go here. 1 can't be on the end of a thermometer, and this C's a 1 anyway, so that can't be a 1. 1 could go on the bulb, and 3 could go anywhere over here, and it's not on the bulb again. 3. So would this being a 5 be problematic in some way? Perhaps. A 4 rather. If that was a 4, this couldn't be a 5. So suppose this is a 4. We can put it in big numbers. Then that would be a 6 at minimum. That can't be a 7, so that would be an 8, and this would be a 9, which seems perfectly fine. Oh no. I was really hoping for something to go wrong there. Okay, so it's 1 or a 4. Oh, well, this one we can resolve. That can't be a 3 because you couldn't put the numbers before it. That was clear. It does mean that things before it are very, very flexible. You know, this could be anything up to 6, although we know it can't be 1, 4 or 5. So we are limited to 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3 and 6, which is probably worth putting in. And I think they're all possible because this could still be 7 and 8, which would be compatible with all of them. Right. Where to next? Okay, this is interesting. We've got a 1 and a 5 placed in the box. We need to put 3 sequential digits that don't include 1 and 5. They could be 2, 3, 4, or 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. They can't be 2, 3, 4 because the bulb sees all of them. So it's got to be 6, 7, 7, 8, and 8, 9. Shockingly, it is still no triple, no nothing. Right. Can we do something similar here? Ooh, perhaps. So, in fact, this is set. This is what we needed to be looking at. This can't be 1. It can't be 2 because there'd be no room for a 3. Or they don't need to increase strictly. They don't need to increase sequentially. Right. Doesn't impact what we've said here because this cannot start with 2, 3, 4 or 5, so it has to start with at least 6. Those are still the remaining options. We haven't gone wrong. I don't know what kind of lapse that was on my part, but this could in principle be not 1, not 2, not 3. Could still be 4. Could be 5. And 6. Then this could be 5, 6, 8, and this could be 6, 8, 9. So slightly less strong. 6, 8, 9, does that give us anything nice? Of course not. Not quite, at least. This square is interesting. This has to be at least 6. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 or 7. Meaning this is 7 or 8. Oh, but it can't be 7 because of the box, and this is 8 or 9. So this has to be 8. This has to be 9. And now we're getting somewhere. This is 6, 5, 4. Let's hope that this is the breakthrough that we needed. So this is 1, 3, and this thermometer looks like it's surely on the brink of major shrinkage. That can't be 7. This can't be 5. This can't be 5 or 4. I think we could have done that part before, and this can't be 4. So we've got a 1, 2. Okay, it's a pretty well behaved thermometer then. We're just narrowing it down. There's now a 7, 8 pair in this row, so this has to be a 6. We could see there was something coming with 6s down below anyway. That resolves the 7, 8 pair as well as the thermometer. Actually, it doesn't resolve the thermometer, but it gets us some digits on the thermometer. So how's that for a consolation? That can't be 6, meaning that this can't be, well, it can be 7. Does that mean anything? I don't think that narrows anything down. Yeah, that all seems still perfectly legal to me. But we do have a given digit we can put in here now. This is a 2. Pardon me. And this looks like this will fix those 2 digits at least. We have rather 3 in one of these. So it's either 3 onwards or it's 2 3. So which means this can't be 6. So if it's 2 3, then that's fine. It'd be 2 3, not 4, not 5, not 7, 6 or 8, 9. I am gonna pencil mark this in. And if it's 3, then it could be 3, 6, not 4, 5, 8, 9. So we do have a 6 or an 8 here. This was 3 or 6, I believe. Yeah. We have a 6-8 pair in row 4, which means we'll have a pair left over, and it's 1 and 3, which does have a resolution. And the cracks are showing. Rome is collapsing. If we unwind these digits, this is 8 or 9, and it has to be 8, which fixes that. Nine is forced into this square. Oh, I don't like that. No, not at all. Don't like that one bit. Let's stop messing around with things which aren't true and try and be a little bit more reasonable, perhaps. So the 2 empty digits there are 7 and 9. They don't have a resolution, but we should write them in anyway. And that leaves us with 1 in either of these, 5 in either of these, and 6 at the top. Okay. Things are starting to crumble, but they haven't crumbled quite enough for my likings yet. Can we say what that digit is? So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5. Could be 6. Yeah, and it could be 9. Okay. So not monstrously helpful. I suppose we may as well add these missing digits since we have such an abundance of pencil marks going on. Oh, and we have another digit here at the top. This has to be 7. That removes 7 from being an option. This does something, which is nice. Pardon. We have A resolution. The thermometers look happy. That also pushes 7 into these 2 bits of a thermometer. 5, 6, 8, 9. So this is 6, 8 or 9 now. At which point I will write that in. Okay, this is interesting. This is a cool piece of logic. 5 or 6. Yeah, 5 or 6 cannot both be in this bottom thermometer. There can only be one in that bottom thermometer. In fact, there needn't be any, but there has to be at most one, which means that there is at least one of 5 of 6 in this square. And, well, technically it would mean there are at least 1 out of 5 and 6 in these 2, but because of the thermometer, we know that this has to be either 5 or 6. This can't be 8. Oh, and why do we bother doing that when we know we have a 1-8 pair here also? That makes a 5-6 pair, which means this has to be 9, and our thermometer is partially resolved. We have a 5-6 pair remaining in the column. And it does resolve this part of the thermometer because of that 5-6 pair. We can place some 8s. And we can place this 4, awaiting us so patiently. Okay. I wish my scanning was a bit faster, but this is 6, this is 7, this is 5, this is 2. Okay, it is all coming together at least, as it should after a battle of this length. And we're just unwinding our digits. That's still 6 or 9, so we're going to have to look over here. That resolves it. Seven, last 2 digits. The scanning isn't over. Finally, we have completed it in a time of 28 minutes and 11 seconds. Well, we've set ourselves a mark to beat for tomorrow, and I think it's a gettable mark, but pretty problem. I definitely took far longer than I should have at points there. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see another gas problem tomorrow.